You're watching Canadian Muslim News on Muslim Network TV from Toronto, Ontario. I'm Catherine Bullock. Assalamu alaikum and greetings of peace. Today is International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. We have an interview with someone who helps survivors of domestic violence in Ontario. But first, some news headlines. British Columbia, the first province to have 10 paid days of sick leave. Muslim cemetery to be built in Sault Ste. Marie. City Council endorses anti-Islamophobia initiatives in Brampton, Ontario. 3 men convicted with life in prison for murdering Ahmaud Arbery. 31 dead after treacherous voyage to Britain from France. And now the details. As of January 1st, 2022, everyone under the British Columbia Employment Standards Act, including part-time workers, will be qualified for 5 paid sick days a year. Labor Minister Harry Baines announced the policy yesterday afternoon. More than 60,000 employers and employees were consulted on whether to make 5 or 10 days of sick leave. The majority suggested 5 days was enough. The government says that currently about half of British Columbian employees do not have access to paid sick leaves. These are primarily women or racialized people in low-paying jobs. The city of Sault Ste. Marie in Ontario will open its first Muslim cemetery. Found inside New Greenwood Cemetery, there are 55 sites that will be dedicated for Muslim burials. The graves are lined to face toward Mecca, and the management have the capacity to conduct a burial upon 24 hours of notice. Imam Saber al-Kilani approached the city with the idea of a Muslim cemetery 2 years ago. The amended bylaw now states that the manager will work with the Muslim cultural group to recognize their cultural beliefs while maintaining necessary health and safety practices. The City of Brampton, Ontario, unanimously endorsed the National Council of Canadian Muslim, or NCCM's, recommendations to municipalities on anti-Islamophobia initiatives. NCCM proposed the recommendations after the attack in London, Ontario, which left a Muslim family of 4 dead and made an orphan of their young son. The motion includes funding anti-Islamophobia initiatives, challenging street harassment, and celebrating Muslim stories. It is to be circulated within the region of Peel, including Mississauga and Caledon. Mustafa Farouk, the CEO of NCCM, thanked the Brampton City Council and called on other municipalities to adopt the recommendations. 3 men were convicted for killing Ahmeld Arbery in Georgia, USA, by a predominantly white jury. Arbery, a black man, was shot early last year while jogging. 3 white men cornered and killed Arbery with a shotgun. They claimed to have shot Arbery in self-defense while performing a citizen's arrest. Arbery was a direct descendant of Bilali Muhammad, an enslaved Muslim scholar who was brought to Georgia from West Africa in the 18th century. Around 31 migrants died after their boat was capsized in the English Channel yesterday. 34 people were believed to be on the small boat, says France's Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin. So far, 31 bodies, including 5 women and 1 young girl, and 2 survivors have been found. It is believed that the people were fleeing poverty in their home countries, such as Afghanistan, Iraq, Eritrea, and Sudan, to access better opportunities in Britain. Darmanin told reporters that 4 people were arrested on suspicions of human trafficking. Prosecutor Carole Etienne says that the ages and nationalities of the bodies have not been determined yet, though she suspects that it will involve multiple countries. That's it for the news. And now a conversation with Amel Habib about International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, today is the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, set by the UN in 2000, so it's already 2 decades old. What does this day mean to you?
Well, it is very important to have such a day, but in my opinion, every day is such should be the day of elimination, the violence against women. Once a while, it is good, but every day there should be awareness and should be pushing for the world to know more about not to have domestic against women and children.
So you
It's
have an organization called On Us You Can Lean, which I totally love that name. Do you want to tell us what it means to you, that organization, and what you do?
That's my baby. Okay, so um, I created this organization in 2014, and while I was doing translation for shelters in Mississauga, I translate in 5 languages. So I had the opportunity to see more ladies with different backgrounds and different languages and different experience for the domestic violence, which really affected me and my life in a very positive way. And then I decided to go ahead and create an organization that I can help women with all backgrounds, and I can help them to face the domestic violence, to understand about it, to know how to behave, how to protect themselves, if they need help, if they need any kind of help, I'm around them.
And
So this is
how do they know? How do they get to know about you?
well, the net is one. And well, because I do translation in the shelters, so I still tell them, I give them my card at the end of the meeting, and well, it's the word of mouth, because I have, for example, for now, I have 3 young ladies that I follow up daily almost, and they have freed from the domestic violence by my help and my organization. I still follow up, I still help, whatever it needs to do, it will be done.
So, I converted to Islam, well, a long time ago now, but in 1994. And obviously, over those years, I've come to learn a lot about the Muslim community. But one of the things I've never ever understood, and I don't know if I ever will, why people leave women in a situation where they're being hit or, abused verbally by their husbands. I've heard stories of the woman tries to leave and the family will send her back, go back to your husband. They go to some of the imams and the imams will say, have patience, go back to your husband. Do you have any sense of why the community isn't standing up and saying this is wrong and putting their women on purpose in a situation where they're getting hit every day, or pain or mental anguish?
Well, unfortunately, in our countries, the third world countries, um, first of all, is education is a big deal. There is no good education in all kind of means of education in life. It doesn't have only reading and writing. And then mostly in the Muslims countries, because uh, they are abusing the tribal tradition and turn it over to be used for them against any other kind of human, like children, women. They want to use them, and then so they are using the tribal traditions, and the mullahs and the imams and all these people are not explaining, but in purpose. They are they are trying to make the Quran and the Islam saying that woman has to be always down and she has to obey for the man, and the man has the last word on everything. And it's like they want the woman to be like robots, but no, even worse than robots, because they want to make love and they do anything. It's their purpose. So unfortunately, at this point, everything back home and these countries, it's used to be against the woman and her freedom and to be living as a human being.
So my
Um,
sense is that in Canada, I mean, I do know a lot of imams actually who are doing their best to help women out of those situations. I think the Canadian Council of Imams has put out opinions against what the men are doing and in support of the woman. I know imams who are contributing to uh, um, what's the word, anti-violence. I know imams who are contributing to helping eliminate the violence against women. So I just wanted to make sure I said that so people don't get the idea that there's only this negative side and there's also this positive side. But I still don't understand why it's such a hard thing to eliminate, honestly. Why a man who's supposed to love his wife will hurt her. That part I just don't get.
No, you see, because you're saying to me that in Canada, right? That you met imams. I'm 100% with you. Why? Because Canada is not Iraq. Canada is not Afghanistan. Canada is not these countries. Canada has rules. When you enter, when you put your foot on the soil, immediately they tell you there are priorities. Our priority first is the kids, then the animal, then the women, and then the man. So when they come here, they know that this country will protect the women no matter what. So they cannot go against the policy of the country for in the subject. If they will be caught by doing that, that's going to be a problem for them. The reason here everything is more settled in this subject because the government issued and made laws to protect the weak human, which is the women and the children, and
So
of course the
with your organization on Us You Can Lean, I love that. That's just, it's so welcoming. Like, we're here to help you. What percentage of women are Muslim that you serve?
I saw from Syria. I have one woman, and I don't know if you went on my website, and there is a video of a lady. She's talking about my organization and how we helped her. This is one example. She's from Syria. Um, I helped a lot by helping them, but not to follow up with them. I have another one. Sorry, I just remembered another one from Jordan actually, and she now graduated from pharmacy school, and then she's taking care of her family and everything. She's so independent. You would love to see that.
I have friends who work in the shelters for many years, and one of the things they tell me is that it can be really hard for a woman to make that decision to leave. So, what are the most important steps for the community to be aware of if they want to help a woman out of a situation of domestic violence?
I think the first step that woman has to love herself. That woman has to understand that she has to stand up for herself and her family, her kids, because nobody else is going to stand up for her. If she doesn't open her mouth and tell me, help me, I need help, I am in this situation, how would I know? So, first thing is to admit that she is suffering and she has to stand up for herself. And then there is all information that can help her to communicate with the government, and you're going to see the government immediately. They're going to surround her with love and support with all cases. I have even like immediately 911, which is the easiest one. Everybody knows 911 when they come to Canada because it's a police. Once she calls the police and say I need help, and she cannot say anything more, I need help, okay, they will get to her
A lot
from
of
the.
women feel a sense of shame, though, like they went into the marriage as if it's their fault. They've been blamed. They're somehow a failure, so they keep it to themselves. They don't reach out. What can we do as a community to help that?
Actually, less than 10% of all domestic cases has been reported to the police. Less than a 10%. So I'm just supporting what you said. They feel ashamed. They are afraid. They don't know what's gonna come. They don't want to have the risk. But I would say you have to have you have to be proud of yourself because God created you so unique. So the best thing God created between all all the creation He did is the women. It's a full of everything positive. So don't be ashamed because you are married and this guy or your partner is misbehaving with you and he's hurting you and he's putting you down, you should not accept that. This is why I said to you in the beginning, love yourself. If you love yourself, you're going to understand I'm good. Nobody has the right to abuse me, and I have my word on myself.
And that's
This,
unfortunately, we're out of time now, but that's a really wonderful way to end. Love yourself. So thank you very much for joining us on the show to talk about this very, very important topic. And we wish you well in your work that you're doing to help Muslim women and all women.
yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
You've been watching Canadian Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Stay tuned for the next episode. Stay safe and God bless.